is a pleasure for me to present this communication with our colleagues from Minho University and my colleague Sana Machado. Sorry, late revision of the PowerPoint. I detected some mistakes. So when you see late Paleozoic or late Carboniferous or late Triassic, it means upper Paleozoic, upper Carboniferous, and upper Triassic. It was not possible to change that. So the communication is prepared by José Brilha and Paulo Pereira from Minho University and my colleague from the Portuguese Geological Survey. It is an iconic site in Portugal. Each Portuguese geology knows the Telheiro angular unconformity. It is located in the southern of Portugal, almost 315 kilometers south of Lisbon, here at Algarve region. In Algarve occurs a Mesozoic basin with Cretaceous, Jurassic and Triassic rocks covered by Cenozoic sediments, and the Paleozoic basement is present along the coast. The site is located at Vila do Pispo municipality. It is included in several regional trails. The Costa Rota Vicentina and the coast, Vicentina coast is the most important, and also included a natural park. The site itself is this littoral cliff, so it is affected by littoral erosion. And here it's well exposed the present sea platform, but also the old rocks, especially the basement rocks and the Mesozoic rocks. The theme is the unconformity between basement and Mesozoic sequence. So in the context of Europe, the basement is included in the South Portuguese zone, so in the southwest of Iberia. And the rocks are represented by the Flysch, Baixo Alentejo Flysch group of upper Carboniferous age. So it is in this section of in the site it is present the deformation of the Paleozoic rocks and the closure of the Tethys Ocean. After the Mesozoic setting represent the Pangea breakup and the initial stage of the opening of the Atlantic Ocean. So it is an area where geological time is very well exposed, and we can see different aspects on that. So the discordant is very well exposed. The basement is folded, and so below we have the Brejeira formation from the Baixo Alentejo Flysch group. It is a classical Flysch, like in Zumaia coast, and above we have continental and fluvial sandstones deposited above the basement. The basement, of course, it is folded, so we can see different aspects on coast. It is possible to see the Paleozoic sedimentary textures like ripple marks here or load casts, but also the narrow folds and even surged plans in the coast. So it is an aspect of the Paleozoic sedimentary rocks formed by underwater gravity flows in offshore Flysch sector. Above these sediments, it is deposited the Silves formation of Triassic age, and even in this part we can see different aspects like late Voriscan folds, Eoalpine folds, and Alpine folds, so late deformation here with two normal folds on the outcrop. So the Triassic setting is totally different, but we can see graded bedding, so it's very spectacular, and with reddish typical color and yellowish color of the sandstones and siltstones. Other aspects in the same site is another unconformity, which is marked by Cenozoic sediments above the Triassic sediments. So we have consolidated dunes and even upper levels of quaternary beach levels. So from the didactic point of view, it's a site, of course, complex, and you can use different aspects on the site. But the goal is the lower unconformity between Paleozoic basement and Cenozoic. These are part of the colleagues that study, especially the Flish by Tomás de Oliveira, and other colleagues study the tectonics. These are mostly of the studies developed on the Paleozoic formations and the dating methods of the sediments with fossils and microfossils. So it is a well-known and study area, and special work was developed by paleontologists to date the sedimentary rocks. The site mapping was included in the national program, of course. The spectacularity of the site is included in several public books, like reference books like these two indicated here, one from the Variscan basement and the other one from European Geoheritage. So why the selection for UHS? So the main interest, of course, it is stratigraphy and sedimentology, but also tectonics. So we have different kinds of folding and example of joint dynamics of the area. Excellent exposure of the angular unconformity between the Variscan basement and the Mesozoic sequence. From the educational point of view, we are working with very didactic outcrops. So it's easy for students and non-geologists to understand concepts like fault zone and other concepts like coastal erosion and other aspects and deformation and so on. So strong educational value. The colors and the landscape and the sunset landscape, it's also very important, especially in the context of the Costa Vicentina, which is a 100 more than 100 kilometers area with a lot of trails along the coast. So it is an excellent setting to expose changes along geological time and different sequence on geological time. And so challenge for geoconservation, of course it is a littoral area, so affected by coastal erosion. It is easy to go to the surface area, but not to the top of the cliffs. But in the base of the cliffs it's quite hard. Only in the low tide is possible to access to the outcrops. So it is not easy. And a viewpoint, it will be good on this sector here. These are the challenge for geoconservation in the future. We did some more field work to prepare this communication using a UAV. After the presentation, I have just a 1 minute video to show you. So thank you, muito obrigado. Thank you very much for, and please the video. The video allows us to feel the setting of the place and how it is known by all the Portuguese geologists. It is a spectacular area, so this is the southern area of the coast, and of course here will appear the unconformity. So we have here the flesh folded with a lot of seam forms and antiforms, and the silves formation, red sandstone, red yellowish sandstone, and very spectacular. So you can speak about various kinds orogeny, but also how Pangaea start to break up and how it was the stage of erosion of the basement and the position of the fluvial and continental sandstones. Even some, like I told you, some thrust zones are here, narrow folds, so different aspects that we can consider. Along the beds you have several sedimentary textures and so on, and that's it.